Ah, urethane's so great, so great. This is fun, this is fun. Oh, he runs it out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to JR Pro Shop Vids. We got a special treat for you today, a bit of a urethane showdown, so stay tuned. So we got Jimoo back on the lanes, fresh from making Team Canada. He's on his way to Sweden in June, so wish him luck. So Jimoo's got 3 balls here that are currently in his bag, in the Pitch Black, Purple Hammer, and Rubicon UC3. And a new addition in the Black Widow urethane. So for you longtime viewers, this is actually the 3rd installment of our urethane series. The first featured the Pitch Black and the Purple Hammer. In the second one, we added in the UC3 here. And in the 3rd installment here, we have the newest urethane in the Black Widow. So starting on my left here, we have the Pitch Black from Storm. It replicates ball motion from the urethane era in the 1980s. Very reminiscent of that. So to my right, we have the Purple Hammer. Creates a more continuous ball motion, hooks a little bit more than a Pitch Black, and it's really changed how we attack certain patterns. So in front of me here, we have the Rubicon UC3. It's even longer down the lane and more angular than a Purple Hammer. And in our opinion, it might actually have a little bit of reactive resin in the cover stock. And the newest addition is the Black Widow urethane, which features the gas mask core found in all the Black Widow balls previously. And now I did a review on this one a little while back. Now in my experience compared to a Purple Hammer, it rolls a little bit earlier and has a more smooth, controllable motion. So Jimoo's gonna bowl on a couple different patterns today. We have 42-foot carbon, which is our house shot here, and we also have 36-foot Pegasus, where urethane traditionally looks very good on shorter patterns. To make this fair today, all the balls in front of me have the same layout, so we have a very fair comparison across the lines. So thank you to all the members who have joined so far. If you want to be a part of our community, hit that join button below. And if you're really enjoying our content, feel free to send us a super thanks below as well. So that's enough in here. Let's send it out to Jimoo on the lanes.
Jimoo's here. We're gonna do Urethane Battle Part 3. New addition is the new Hammer Black Widow urethane. The pink one, if you don't know. We'll start off easy with the Pitch Black. First up, we're bowling on a house shot carbon 42 feet. Very simple, but not usually the best for urethane. We'll try a simple line, 10 out to 5. Trip two, go Pitch Black. If you watch my other urethane reviews, you'll know that the Pitch Black has been there for a long time. It's the urethane I use the most. What I find, it's very controllable, rolls early, but also very flat off the spot. We'll try another with it. One right, see if we can hit it flush. Inside. Thank God for house shots. When you miss inside, it holds. Next up in today's video, we have a lot of people's favorite, the Purple Hammer. We know that Barks loves his Purple Hammer. I also love the Purple Hammer. This one hooks a couple boards more than the Pitch Black in my opinion, and a bit later. So we'll try the same line right there, see how it reacts on the house shot. As you can see, struck. You can't see too much difference right now. The house shot usually allows all the bowling balls to have a consistent reaction to the pocket, no matter if you miss in or out. I missed a little in on that one. Let's get this ball a little bit further out at the break point and see how it snaps into the pocket. You like my new jersey? You can get one too if you become a champion member. There you go. Not much difference. 4 for 4 strikes. I'm happy. Let's move on to the UC3. Now the Rubicon UC3 has the Rondour core. It's asymmetric and with a pearl cover stock on the outside. So what I found, it hooks even later and sharper than the Purple Hammer in our last review, if you haven't seen it. Let's try the same line. You see that snap off the back end? This ball is made to have a violent reaction off the back end. Now, that's something you usually wouldn't expect out of a urethane bowling ball, But in certain situations, such as later in a block and when the other urethanes are rolling too early, this comes in really handy. Move a couple left, try to get a strike for the strike cam. Urethane, so great, so great. The moment you all been waiting for. Ooh, the Hammer Black Widow urethane. Now, I've thrown a few shots with this ball. What I found, it rolls really early, really early. So we're gonna throw it on the same line as we did the purple and the first shot of the UC3 and see how it reacts. You can see that the ball went high into the pocket, but a much different shape from the Rubicon UC3. Where the Rubicon was hooking very violent off the back end, this one rolled early closer to the mid lane and couldn't get the ball further out in the break point. Color looks really good though, really cool. Pink-purple combo for tournaments. We'll move 2 left till we struck with the UC3 and see how this one differs. It was fun, it was fun. So we've thrown all 4 bowling balls, all 4 urethanes, and we can see that they all strike on house shots. We're not usually throwing urethane on house shots. Let's see how it does on a pattern that's meant to be thrown on 36-foot Pegasus. Okay, question time with Jimoo. So as you can see from today's review, I have 4 urethane bowling balls with me. Now my question for you, with the amount of urethane being used in today's bowling game, do you think it's bad for the sport? Let me know in the comments below. Jimoo's here, round 2. Now we are on 36-foot Pegasus. Urethane is usually better for short patterns because they roll early naturally and it's easy to control off the back end. Usually with urethane I can play further right and it helps me have a more consistent line to the pocket. Same order, hopefully we see more of a difference instead of a strike show. So we're taking the pitch black, standing on the same line, and let's see how it does on the shorter pattern. 36 feet, kind of short, like me. Now if you noticed it, but what I saw from my eyes, pitch black rolled super early and not a lot of motion in the back end. You don't see it like the UC3 with a violent snap. It's more controlled and tame. Let's move 2 right from that one. Make sure we hit it properly and get a strike. There we go. Felt good off my hand. Threw a more straight line, tighter to the pocket. But still, as you can see, not a lot of motion. It's just super smooth, controllable. And that's what the pitch black does. Now for the controversial ball, the purple hammer. We are gonna throw it on the same line as that last pitch black shot. The one that had a light strike. Oh yeah, I like the purple hammer because it strikes almost every time. Don't throw it on long though, it won't strike there. Now we're gonna go to our original line, 2 boards left of that last shot. See if this one's able to recover. Ooh, messenger almost hit it. So as you can see, compared to the pitch black, the purple hammer has a bit more motion off the back end, hooks a little bit later, and covers about 2 more boards. Now moving on, Rubicon UC3 Roto Grip. I'm the lab rat because I can throw all the brands, where Barks is stuck to the Brunswick balls and Jung stuck to Storm. They use me to throw strikes. Oh! Technically, I wasn't wrong there, but I thought that was a really good shot. And as you can see, a violent snap from the Rubicon UC3. I can tell because of this ASIM core paired with the pearl cover stock, it's just ready to snap off the back end. I'd want to move a lot after that one, but let's just move 2 boards for now. Maybe try rolling it more up the back to make sure we're able to control this back end motion. That felt really good. With a bit more forward roll, it didn't have such a violent snap off the back end. And with the 2-board adjustment, this ball hooked. There's another ball that hooks here, Widow Urethane. Let's try it out. Pinky from the same line as the last ball. Black Widow urethane doesn't have the same snappy motion in the back end like the UC3. It's more controlled, more early rolling, kind of like the pitch black in my opinion, just a bit stronger. Now this ball also has an ASIM core, the Bart's gas mask core, as I just figured out. What that is making this ball do, it doesn't have that violent snap off the back end, however, it is making the ball roll earlier. And in my opinion, super beneficial on a lot of heavier patterns. I feel like this ball is gonna be really good on short, just in general. Oh, he runs it out. Oh. Close, close. Ball's really good though. If you haven't seen Barker's review on this bowling ball, he compared it to the Purple Hammer, one of his favorites. See his thoughts and which one he likes more. Now let's see how versatile this bowling ball is. Let's move about 5 boards left, throw it slower, and have a bit more rotation around the ball. You see, I actually like that shot. With the slower speed, I thought it would be able to turn the corner. It just rolls too early from there. I'm gonna try the Purple Hammer because I think that one might have enough back end motion to recover. Purple Hammer, same line, same speed. Okay, so purple is close. It's able to kick out the 10. Didn't leave me with anything too difficult to spare. But I think the ball that's perfect for this line is the Rubicon UC3. This ball just has that back end motion I'm looking for from this line. Let's see if it works. Oh yes. You see how angular it is off the back end? It almost went right past the 9-pin. I've never tripped the 9-pin like that before. That was cool. So now let's do something I'm not the best at, which is moving far to the outside part of the lane and trying to throw it really straight. I believe this line will be close to the pitch black, being very good at throwing these straighter lines and straighter angles. So we're gonna move 3 right from where we started. See how it does. Throw it flatter. Oh yeah. That felt really good. Got it out to about 2 at the break point. Smooth and controllable. No crazy jump in the back end. What that reminds me of is the pitch black. When every single ball, reactive or urethane, in my bag is jumping too much, I turn to this ball to make sure everything's consistent. We're gonna throw a similar line and try to get a strike here. Oh wow. Yeah, so same line where the Black Widow urethane went high and left a 4-pin. The pitch black actually went light, barely mixing the pins up. 1 board right, and this should be perfect. There we go. Felt nice. Controlled, smooth. I love the pitch black. If I go to tournaments now, I got the World Championships in Sweden coming up. Only allowed to kind of bring 6 balls. I don't know what I'm gonna do about this urethane situation. We're gonna do a backup ball. People love throwing backup balls. We'll strike, and we'll talk in the shop. Oh! That's great. Let's send it back to the shop. We're back from the lanes. Let's talk about these urethane bowling balls. Now, if you didn't watch our first review comparing the pitch black and the purple, or watched our second review with the addition of the UC3, urethane, in my opinion, is essential. Especially for someone who throws it with a lot of revs as a 2-handed bowler, I need urethane to control my lines on the shorter patterns. It also controls the amount of hook. And with my high rev rate, reactives can sometimes be a bit too much. So let's talk about what we saw out there. First up was the house shot. Carbon, 42 feet, high ratio patterns usually have more oil on the inside part of the lane and not as much on the outside. So naturally, we didn't see too much of a difference between these urethane bowling balls. First up, we threw the pitch black. Once again, as I said, the pitch black, super controllable, early rolling, and flat off the spot. Doesn't hook too much, as you saw. And second up, we threw the Purple Hammer. So good. Such a good bowling ball, in my opinion. Later than the pitch black, sharper off the back end, but still a controllable, smooth shape. Then next up, the Rubicon UC3. Oh my goodness, you can see how crazy the back end on this ball is. And as Barks mentioned, it's probably more than just urethane. That being said, this ball went the longest down lane and had the sharpest, most violent reaction off the back end. Now that doesn't necessarily mean it's better or worse as a bowling ball, but it's more specific to a certain part of the block. just like how each of these bowling balls shine at different parts in your league. And finally, today I got to try out the Hammer Black Widow Urethane. And oh my, I am impressed. Early rolling reaction, but it's much stronger than something like the Pitch Black. It's able to cover the same amount of boards as almost the Rubicon UC3, but it has such a different reaction. Now, to exploit the difference between these bowling balls, we moved to 36-foot Pegasus. And now on this challenge pattern, we're able to see how different each of these really are. Pitch Black, once again, kind of did the same thing. Really early, smooth, straight. Then we threw the Purple Hammer. We got to move a couple boards more inside, and we could see it recover a bit more than the Pitch Black. Moving off of that, Rubicon UC3, I had to jump 5 boards in order to get this ball to strike. It's just that strong off the back end, covering so many boards. We saw when we moved into the pattern with the Hammer Black Widow Urethane that the ball rolled so early that it didn't have much to do off the back end, couldn't really cover the same amount of boards that the Rubicon UC3 would have. So for slowing your speed and covering more boards, I suggest the Rubicon UC3 or even the Purple Hammer. But if you're looking to play straighter lines and have that ball roll early for you and be super controllable, Hammer Black Widow Urethane and the Pitch Black, super good. This one's just stronger than the Pitch Black, maybe about 3 or 4 boards. Overall, I'm super impressed with this bowling ball. Black Widow Urethane will be used on the fresh of these short patterns and medium patterns before I get into the other urethanes or reactive. Would I bring all 4 of these as slots in my bowling bag to a tournament? Absolutely not. If I'm going to a tournament, only bring 6 balls, I don't think it's necessary to bring all 4 of these. I think 2 is a good number, or even 1 if you know the pattern ahead of time. I feel like the more urethane I fill up in my arsenal for these tournaments, it limits the amount of reactive potential that I could use for the other patterns. Now, based off these urethane reviews that I've done, I think it's clear to myself, the JR Pro Shop team, and the entire bowling world that urethane has changed the game of bowling. Even Barker carries more than me. Last month, we went to the Canadian team trials in Mississauga, and I brought 2 urethane bowling balls, the Purple Hammer and the Pitch Black. Now, I thought I was crazy for bringing 2 to this big tournament. However, I saw more urethane than I would have ever expected. The winner of the tournament, Graham Faw, was throwing the Purple Hammer, and the runner-up, Mitch Hoope, our good friend, also threw the Purple Hammer. So we want to hear your thoughts. Do you believe that the popularity of urethane will be good for the sport of bowling? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and become a member of JR Pro Shop. If you want early access to videos, some free coaching, some nice merch, click the join button below and become a member today. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.